And welcome, everybody. Welcome back in for another brand new episode of Come Play With Us, Danny, the horror movie review podcast, hosted by myself and my sister Megan. Welcome back, everybody. We haven't been with you for so long. It feels like forever. I have got a mountain man beard going on right now. I forgot how to set up my microphone for this show.
Oh my God. I'm in
I
a new
know.
location.
You're in a new house.
Yes.
Things are happening all over the place, and there's so much to get into. But happy 2024, everyone. I know that sounds cheesy because the month is almost over, and we're going to be getting into February. So that's how long we've been away. You realize that?
It's been a very long time. Very long time.
So if you're just new to the show, this is Come Play With Us, Danny, the horror movie review and news podcast, hosted by myself, me, and my sister Megan. If you go to our YouTube page and subscribe and hit the notification bell when new episodes drop, just go to @Come Play With Us, Danny Show. Make sure to go on Instagram too to follow us there, and our Facebook page as well. But if you already know our show, welcome back. Thanks for joining in. We have a jam-packed show because we've been gone for a while, and there's been so many things that have happened in the horror realm when it comes to movies that are coming out in 2024. I guess we should just kick it off, right? I mean,
just put your foot in it. Just that's what you need to do.
Let's just go. Okay, we'll go into it. So it's been a while. I know this was buzzed about. You saw 28 days, right?
I did see the original. Yes.
And did you see 28 Weeks Later, the sequel?
I'm gonna be honest, and I saw like half of it.
Okay. Well, I can tell you. So I saw both in the theaters, and both great films. I mean, Danny Boyle directed the first one. We all know him from Trainspotting and $1 Million. All the other ones that he's directed. But 28 Weeks Later, I think a worthy sequel to 28 Days Later. 28 Days. More of an action-centric zombie movie than what 28 Days was. But now, it's been rumored for a while, but now 28 years later is now going to be in production. It is going to be in theaters sometime soon. I know there's 3 major studios that are trying to fight for the rights to 28 Years Later, which I think Danny Boyle is coming back to direct.
Are we gonna have Cillian Murphy too?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a brand new cast, but you never know. These types of stories where they could reference him, he may make an appearance. You never know. I mean, there's no indication of what the story's going to be like. I don't think it's been written yet. Alex Garland is coming back to write this film. From what they're saying, it's a potential to be a beginning of a brand new trilogy of films. So we'll see about this. Don't know if Cillian Murphy is going to come back. Obviously, he is in such high demand after Oppenheimer, so we don't know if he's maybe going to go back to his zombie roots and be in this movie. So I'm looking forward to this. If this gets picked up by a studio, pump some money into it. I mean, it was first 2 films are great. I think 28 Years Later or 28 Days, I'm sorry, was really part of that kickoff of the new type of zombies that we saw, like with the Dawn of the Dead remake, where you had the zombies that were just like track athletes and they could run the 40 in like 4 seconds.
Nothing worse than a zombie that can sprint behind you, literally.
Hey, we've got zombies that have been conditioned. We've got zombies that are that are doing their drills.
So they're calisthenics during the evening.
Yes, exactly. What do you think? I mean, I know we've seen a lot of these horror IPs that we haven't heard from in a long time, and now we're getting requels and reboots and continuations of original stories and stuff like that, where they ignore, other sequels. But obviously, this is going to be kind of like a brand new thing. But you never know; it could be from years past from those other movies.
If they can bring it, if they can kind of pick up. I can't talk tonight. If they can pick up where they left off, somewhat. I mean, I don't know. You know my views on doing requels and stuff like that. As long as there's a piece of the original story pretty much in the movie, and you're not just trying to just throw a bunch of shit together on a screen.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for a good zombie movie. Like I am
too.
I am,
am too.
as long as you do it correctly, and as long as
Mhm.
it has some sort of premise. I mean, most zombie movies are just it's a zombie movie that's everybody's fucking undead, whatever.
Run, survive, trip, fall. Run, survive, trip, fall.
Pretty much, and that's the great premise. And a lot of the movies, I don't know, I think the last zombie movie I saw was Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Yeah, the Netflix movie. Yeah, that you
So,
know what? That was pretty good. I like that Army of the Dead.
and I did see, unfortunately, part of the movie with Jamie Foxx, The Night Shift, that was
I
on.
started, but that was more of a vampire movie, wasn't
It
it?
was more of a vampire, yeah, more of a
Yeah,
vampire. But yeah, Army of the Dead for Zack Snyder was the last zombie movie I saw, and I actually liked it. Like I was
yeah. It
actually
was it was pretty
thrilled
dope.
to
I
see it.
liked the whole premise of like
Mhm.
zombies that can actually think for themselves, and they're
Well,
in
then you have
Vegas and
like
stuff like
zombies
that.
that are fornicating with each other, which is even worse.
Yeah,
That's so.
that's
So we've got
gross.
running zombies. We have zombies that think for themselves, and then you have like zombie animals. So I mean,
Yeah,
we've kind of like you know transformed. But I'm all for this. If they produce it and it has some sort of substance, I'm there. I'm good for it.
I agree with you too. And plus, you got the original director and the original writer back too, and
Yeah.
you could sprinkle in some of the first two movies in there. Obviously, in the sequel, 28 weeks later, Cillian Murphy wasn't in it. I don't think there
No.
was even a mention of him. So it was like it was. I mean, set in the same universe, but like different characters. So I mean, maybe they could do that for this one, where hey, it's set in the same universe, different characters. Maybe we bring back a couple of the characters from the first movie or maybe the second movie just to kind of have them make an appearance,
Mhm.
or hey, maybe have them like be a secondary character in there. So that's
I
something
mean,
they could do.
it doesn't have to be like an origin story. I mean,
Right.
it as long as there's like some sort of the original premise to it, then it should
Yeah.
be. I don't see
Yeah,
any
because if
problem.
they try and do like a telling of how it began, we already know it came from like monkeys. It came from the rage monkeys. So you don't really
Yes.
need to do that. So
No.
yeah, I think what they could do was, hey, it's 28 years later. Maybe maybe the world has recovered from it
Hmm.
and how it's affected, or maybe it's like still there and like the whole world's still overrun by zombies. I know there's many avenues you can take. Just don't take a stupid one when you're writing this movie.
Okay. I'm good. I'm good with that.
All right, some good news from it's almost like Christmas time for us. David Gordon Green has exited The Exorcist Deceiver, the upcoming sequel to last year's critical and box
Uh,
office flop, The Exorcist Believer. Mostly because of scheduling conflicts, but we all know that he needs to move on to something else and
he
stop
should
just shitting on movies
never touch a horror movie ever
ever again.
again. If I could
So
play the song Hallelujah, I would.
hallelujah.
I said play, not you sing it.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I had to get that in there. I'm interested in
That's a good
seeing
one.
where they go because if Universal's really going to continue on with this supposed trilogy, like they said they were going to do,
Hmm.
kicking off with The Believer, get a
Hmm.
dir- get a. I would love to see like an indie director take this one. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah, because look, come on, Megan. You and I know there's lots of indie directors right now doing horror. That's obviously some are good in there, and there's some that are just meh. But why not take a chance? You can lower the budget too. Lower the budget,
Okay.
bring in an indie director, and then the ending was shit. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna waste Linda Blair by just like a 5-second cameo where she gives Ellen Burstyn a hug at the end,
I I still
unless you're gonna continue on with Linda Blair's character.
I still haven't had a chance to see it.
You're not missing
So
much.
I mean I I wanted to kind of see it when the first preview started dropping. I was kind of excited for it,
Mm-hmm.
but the more I watched the other previews, it just took a weird fucking turn. Like I was very, very disappointed in that production. And like I said, David Gordon Green should never touch a horror movie. Just go back to what you were doing before. I don't know I mean. Just go back. Just
I think
leave it
he was
alone.
doing. I think he was doing comedies with
Stay in comedy.
With Danny McBride. Remember, Danny
That's
McBride
right.
was one of the producers of the Halloween trilogy.
Yes, I know. I know.
So
Those two should just stay in the comedy land. But okay, so I will go with yes. Go ahead and pick an indie director. Maybe they'll put it in a different direction instead of the fucking ass clown that they had.
yes. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot's been happening in the Scream franchise. Melissa Barrera and
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. God, I had a brain fart right there. Gotta quit smoking weed. Both have exited the project. Most notably, Melissa Barrera was technically pretty much fired from the movie because of her comments about the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and then Jenna Ortega. Wow, I'm really bad at names.
Wow.
Had exited the film because of her prior commitments to Beetlejuice 2 and also the Wednesday show on Netflix. So she is out because of scheduling conflicts. Now you have the two leads that are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Radio Silence didn't come back for 7. The original director for 7 is now out as well because of scheduling conflicts too, or I think maybe some disagreements creative wise. So now you have no director.
Mm-hmm.
You have no leads, and you don't know where you're going. Neve Campbell has been saying she has no idea where the story is going to go, but would welcome a return to the franchise, which they should do. Back up the money truck and get Neve Campbell back. I want to spend a little time on this subject of Scream because you and I are both huge Scream fans, and we love the first 3 movies. 4 not so much. The last one was pretty good. 5 was But I think now with this is so totally up in the air of where you can go in a direction of the films. Do you try and pick it up from where 6 left off? Do you introduce brand new characters? Do you stick with the legacy characters, bring back Neve Campbell, and then start anew? Like I don't. There's so many things you can do now because you don't have that new requel. You know, the requel cast is like non-existent now because the 2 leads are. You know what I mean? So I mean, where do you go with this franchise?
This is a good thing and a bad thing for this franchise.
It is. Like, that's the funny thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing.
I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword for the situation because if you pick up from the last movie, you obviously don't have the same people in it. So what are you going to use? Like the backup players that were in it? That's not going to make any type of sense.
I mean, you could use the twins. Well, I put that in quotations. The twins.
Yeah, you could.
Because they both survived.
But where would you go with that though? That's the thing is they're not really tied into the original trilogy to begin with. So where would you go? Now, honestly, if it was me, I would pull back some of the original players. I would bring back Neve Campbell.
Yeah.
And then I would try to not bring it back so far where it's like unreachable, but I would kind of dig further into Sydney's character a little bit further, maybe with her mom.
You could go with my story treatment where she's out in the woods in the cabin with, her husband and her kids. And then, killer comes knocking on the door and she's brought out and then it turns out to be Stu. But, that's just me. But because then, I'm just listen to me because then you could close the chapter of that. You know what I mean? And then she can get her swan song instead of being written out of the movie like she did. I mean, obviously she was mentioned, but she could get her swan song. You know what I mean? Because Gail's still alive, barely. But you really only have 2 legacy characters left, is Gail and Sidney Prescott. So if you're gonna maybe do, I think what they should do is bring her back, make it so you're drawing her back in, kind of like what they did in 3, where she was kind of like out in the woods and secluded and she's brought back into the whole thing. I think that's what they need to do for this, is bring her back in there and then just kind of have it as a swan song. Is this is us closing it on the Sidney Prescott's character. And now if they decide to do like an 8th one, we can start with a brand new cast again. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's probably what the direction that they'll go with it. I mean, I don't.
The Stumacher idea is pretty good.
I don't foresee how they could spin this any different way, to be quite honest with you, because of everything that has happened. I mean, does that make sense? Like, I don't.
No, it does.
What other way they can do this? They can't introduce Skeet Ulrich back into it. They can't introduce.
He's like Casper the Friendly Ghost now.
I know, and I'm sorry, but like I understand what they were trying to do when they did
it,
that,
yeah.
but
I
to
agree.
me, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Like you're literally dressing, and Skate Ulrich has got to be in his late 50s, so like it just looks stupid to try to dress him up as his character when he was in high school. Like it looked
Yeah,
weird.
and the whole de-aging effect too looked kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked
I
like he
wasn't
had a
okay with
filter
that.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just not cool. Like so, you can't, unfortunately, because they killed off so many people in this franchise. It's hard to kind of do anything else with it. And like like you said, now the two main players that were going to replace the old players are now gone.
Gone.
I don't know. I guess the only thing would be to bring back Nev
You
Campbell,
bring
but
Yeah, I think you bring her back and then just have it to where it's just an epic 7th movie
mhm.
where that's it for that timeline and that story arc of Woodsboro, and just close it because that's it. You have the two of them left.
I
And
feel like
what better
I
way to
feel
have her, ride off into the sunset with, the last movie.
I feel like this franchise is going to stall for a little bit. I feel like it's going to stall, and the only reason I feel like it's going to stall is I feel like they're not going to be able to either get Nev Campbell to come back,
Mhm.
or they're not going to be able to have any sort of resolution or something. I feel like it's gonna stall. That's just my opinion.
I'm just saying, I mean, fan theories, it's even mentioned in the movie where Stu could have been
Oh, I
alive at
know.
the end of the one
I
movie
know.
because he get
I
hit in the head with a
know.
TV with, just
I
saying.
know.
I'm just saying.
You should start your own Bring Back Stu campaign, because I feel like this is
I
where
think
you're
there's
going.
already a few of those campaigns already.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm here for it. Whatever you want to do, I support you. But
Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm
I'm
just
here. I am here for that.
okay. That's all
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, shall we?
I'm just really excited for this movie.
I am too. And I say that because and I'm going to put up the trailer for this.
This trailer is
I
fantastic. I don't know which one this is, but
It's the latest one. And I
okay.
say that because I didn't like Afterlife too much.
Why?
I just thought it was too fan servicey. And it was too much like,
Because
hey, it's
of
kind
the
of
cameos?
not because of the cameos. Well, yeah, but like I get it. They're trying to like have a movie that's kind of in this generation where like, obviously Stranger Things is a big thing where they're trying to like dial it back to, a creepy small town kind of deal, which
Mhm.
is a good idea. I mean, the premise of it, Egon's in seclusion is secluded. He's trying to figure this out. They brought back elements from the first movie and whatnot. I
Mhm.
just there wasn't to me there wasn't a lot of heart to it. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, it was enjoyable. It's not something I'm gonna like watch
Mhm.
again. I just didn't think I had a lot of heart into it. But when I saw this trailer,
Mhm.
I saw a lot of elements from the cartoon show, but bringing back in a lot of the stuff from the original 2 movies, which I
Mhm.
kind of liked, man. I mean, you bring in more of the supernatural, like cartoon stuff, which the cartoon show was even cool. Was like cool,
Yeah.
man. They had a lot of cool stuff in that show.
Oh yeah.
But looking at this trailer, I mean, it's bigger budget, obviously. I mean, they're back in
Mhm.
New York, which is cool, and they've got everybody suiting up for this. So
Mhm.
I like it, man. I mean, what do you think about Frozen
So
Empire?
I'm like I said, I'm excited about this movie. Afterlife, I liked it. I feel like it was reaching a little bit.
Mhm. Mhm.
I feel like they kind of just tried to pick it up from the original, like one of the original movies, and tried to like stick a bunch of shit in it.
See
I
that scene
mean,
right there with them wearing the jackets? That's from the animated show.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
But like this one, this Frozen Empire one, I'm actually kind of excited about it because you are right. There's a lot more elements of like the original Ghostbuster stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I think this one is going to be a better one. Afterlife was it was fine. It wasn't like this is great. I mean, I was kind of emotional at the end because they did bring back Harold Ramis,
Yeah.
which he's passed away. But I think this one is going to probably kind of touch better on the other movies, like the original movies.
I think it's going to expand more of the mythology of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Because Afterlife, you brought back Gozer, you brought back the Keymaster. It's like, all right, we've seen this before, guys.
Yeah.
You know, but with this, you're expanding it out and you're bringing more stuff in that, you know, Ghostbusters, the animated series did. And that's cool. That's what I want to see. I want to see more expansion on mythology than I want to see. Oh, we've already seen this movie before. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Like we've seen this movie before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in a new, you know, I want to see more like what Frozen Empire is going to try and do.
I mean,
So
you can't wrap shit up in a pretty wrapper and call it something different. It's just always shit.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's all. That's all it is.
All right, I want to discuss this list that just came out. We'll go through it.
Okay.
It's done by Men's Health. This is the only list I could find in a short amount of time. It's by Men's Health. Not that great of a list.
Okay.
They put the 14 horror movies they can't wait to scare us in 2024.
Okay.
I'll go down the list and we'll say yay or nay.
Okay.
Lisa Frankenstein. Have you seen the trailer for this movie?
The fuck? No.
Okay, don't.
Lisa Frankenstein?
Yeah, okay. So here, I'll give you a rundown of what this movie is supposed to try and be.
It already
Mix
sounds
in, yes, it is. The trailer looks stupid.
Okay.
Mix in Edward Scissorhands. Okay.
Okay.
Mix that in. Every like Gen Z rom-com type deal.
God.
Mix that in there.
Uh-huh.
And then every preppy person trying to be goth in the 2000s, and then wrap that up in a movie, and then you've got Lisa Frankenstein.
That sounds absolutely horrible and not in a good way.
No, and Diablo Cody actually wrote it, which is kind of
really,
yeah. So it'd be maybe decent, but like the trailer. Go check out the trailer after the show.
I'll have to look at that. That sounds horrible.
Imaginary. I don't know if you heard about this one. Imaginary is this horror film takes an innocent childhood toy and turns it sinister. That already sounds stupid. You've seen
I actually saw the trailer for it.
Okay.
It's okay. It's not fantastic.
Wouldn't consider this a horror movie. It's Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire.
No, I've seen the trailer for it.
Looks pretty good. I loved all the new MonsterVerse movies they had coming out. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong, Kong Island. Like they're all great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Godzilla movies. I've heard Godzilla -1 is fantastic, by the way. I want to see that.
I just never got into any of those movies.
You should. We've got a debut from the daughter of N. Night Shyamalan. Ishana Shyamalan is making her film debut with The Watchers.
Okay, what is The Watchers?
The Watchers is about Dakota Fanning's in it.
Okay.
A woman ends up stranded in a mysterious forest in Ireland. As she explores the landscape, she discovers 3 other people who are all stalked by strange creatures at night. I bet you there's a stupid twist at the end, just like her dad does.
Why do I feel like this movie has been done?
It has, probably, because the premise sounds very familiar. It sounds like The Villages or whatever.
Yeah, because that kind of sounds
like the strange creatures turn out to be Irishmen that are coming out in the woods that are drunk at night. That's what that sounds like.
Leprechauns.
Oh, that's the creatures. It's leprechauns.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A Quiet Place Day One. A Quiet Place Day One is the prequel to A Quiet Place Part 1 and 2. It'll star Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn.
I'm not excited for that.
I kind of am. And I only say that because in the first 2 films, you do kind of get in clips, small clips, you get an exploration of how it happened, but you don't get like how it happened. So it could be interesting in seeing how it like everything happened, like the invasion of these alien creatures.
They showed the aliens too quickly for me. It was too quickly. It was too it was nothing was left to the imagination at all whatsoever. So that's what spoiled it for me right off the bat.
Okay.
So
Alien Romulus. Romulus is a new Alien film coming out directed by Fede Alvarez, who directed the Evil Dead prequel.
Okay.
It's going to be set in between Alien and Aliens.
I think we talked about this before. Like this was what they were gonna wedge in between movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna. I don't know. My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm looking forward to this because I like Fede Alvarez because of what he did with Evil Dead.
Okay.
So I hope he can make a good Alien movie because so far we haven't had a good one in a long time. So
No, and I agree on that most definitely. We have not whatsoever.
don't know how this is going to be a horror movie, but Beetlejuice 2 is coming out this year, later on in September. We haven't seen anything yet from it. I don't know. I just
I haven't seen any previews whatsoever.
yeah, nothing's come out yet. So I don't know. I mean, just it's one of those IPs where it's, hey, we're 40 years later and we're doing one of these again. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's got the original cast back.
I mean, I'm kind of excited over it, but because I've seen where they've done like backstage where they're shooting.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any like except for one or two little previews about it.
I mean, you've got
Michael Keaton's in it, right?
Keaton's back as Beetlejuice. Tim Burton's directing. Winona Ryder's back. Catherine O'Hara's back. You've got. So I mean, it could go one or two ways.
I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant and scared over it, honestly.
Nice and model. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well, they can't bring Jeffrey Jones back, isn't he dead?
Either that or he's blackballed from Hollywood because of
his
kid stuff.
Katie Diddling. Okay.
Katie Diddling, yeah. So
okay.
All right, last two on the list. It's not all 14, but two movies, I think. Actually, I'll bring in the other one. Actually, four of them. Sorry. We've got Smile 2.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, the sequel to the unexpected success of the first one. I'm stoked for this because Smile was really great. We've got Nosferatu. Yes. Starring Lily Rose Depp, Bill Skarsgård, and Willem Dafoe. Can't wait for that. The Crow remake starring Bill Skarsgård. Skarsgård's like busy as hell, man. Jeez.
See, okay, so this
not really horror though.
No, but I don't know how I feel about Skarsgård doing this because I can't see him. His face just to me does not embody the Crow.
Well, if Skarsgård's not really like an attractive man, like Brandon Lee was. Yeah.
I feel I'm sorry, this is going to be very, very on brand, but I feel like they should have put Momoa in this.
No, I disagree. No, okay. You put Momoa in there because Momoa's, even though he's probably done playing Aquaman, he's moving on to play Lobo. And
is he really?
Yeah, he's probably going to be playing Lobo in the new DCU or continuing on as Aquaman. But as much as he could maybe fill like the profile of that character, I just think he's too goofy to be Eric Draven and Crow. You need to have like a serious actor to pull off that role. And to me, every time I look at Momoa, he's always got a smile on his face like he's drunk, and it's funny. Like I love Jason Momoa. He's funny as hell. He's a big goofy dude, but I wouldn't be able to take him seriously as playing the Crow. Like I need somebody else that can pull that off.
I just don't know if Skarsgård was the right choice of this because for me, in stature and for seriousness, and hopefully they're going to make the movie serious. I just can't picture him being Eric Draven. I really don't. Yeah. To me, they could have. I don't even know. They could have fucking picked somebody else. Skarsgård to me now, he's doing Nosferatu too. That I can see.
Yeah, I can definitely see that too. To me, Skarsgård isn't really he's not like a hero, like leading man. He's more of that villain, creepy villain. Yeah, like the Crow's almost like an anti-hero too. So you need that like charisma of a leading man that's a villain. But like Skarsgård is a villain. He plays villain characters. Like
Yeah, I don't.
even in the new John Wick movie, like he was the main like villain in that, and he played it to a T. But like as
Yeah,
the Crow, I need somebody else.
yeah. I just don't know. I mean, I'll probably end up seeing it just because. Excuse me. The Crow was a big part of my teenage years. Yours also.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I feel like he's probably the wrong decision. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
if you could cast somebody else, obviously you mentioned Momoa. Who would you have
See, I'm trying
play
to
the
figure out
Crow?
who because these. I don't know these newer stars nowadays. Like a lot
Yeah.
of these actors, they're just so in and out.
Yep.
There's nobody that really sticks out in my mind that I would have been like, this guy's perfect, perfect.
Right.
Brandon Lee obviously was
He's the Crow.
amazing. Oh
He's
yeah,
the Crow.
he
He's the
was
Crow.
amazing. But I don't know. God, I don't even know who I would actually try to put in a position that would have been perfect, honestly. You know who this is gonna sound horrible. No, I can't even pick him because he's way too skinny. I was gonna say Finn what's his name?
Wolfhard.
Wolfhard would come close.
No, he got to have more of a. He's got to be more good looking.
Yeah, I can't.
Wolfhard, he's a good actor. He's a great actor. I just don't think he pulls
But
it
yeah,
off.
and
He's
Wolfhard
got
is
to
kind
be
of
more.
like he's on the same lines as Skarsgård is. I wouldn't ever see him as an attractive,
Like a
you
leading
know,
man.
like a
Yeah.
suave kind of dude. Like I don't know. Honestly, I can't think of anybody that I've been like, yeah, that would be great.
You're right too. Like, there's so many actors now. I don't even know who they are because they're just the
No,
same. They're the same person.
they're all they're all kind of manufactured the same
Yeah,
way.
they're all
Like,
clones of each other. I can't really think of one that would really kind of fit the mantle. So I'm interested in seeing how Skarsgård portrays
mm,
Eric Draven in the new Crow. So I'm interested in seeing that. So
okay,
that's what I say. If they come out with a trailer soon, you need to like show a little bit of footage from like him talking as the Crow and the
yeah,
look.
because he'd have to change. He's gonna have to change his voice and everything because
Yeah.
there's a rasp to Brandon Lee's voice.
You know what? I got somebody that can maybe pull it off.
Who?
The kid that's what's his name? He's in that show Euphoria,
I have never seen
and
that show.
he's in that movie Saltburn. Not Barry Cohen, the taller kid.
Oh, Jacob,
Yeah, Jacob Elordi or something like that. His name is. He could
something like
probably
that.
because he's a good looking kid. I think he's over 6 foot. He can get jacked.
Okay, I'm looking at his profile right now. I mean, he's 26 years old. He's Australian. I mean,
I
maybe
mean,
that would be the only close. But they all see nowadays. All these guys that are actors, they all look like this fucking dude. All of them do. None of them have anything that is
get Miles Teller from Top Gun Maverick.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, get Miles
No,
Teller.
that would definitely somebody I would not pick as Miles Teller. Like none of these guys that I've seen that are just none of them stick out to me. They're like, oh yes, that person would be perfect. I don't know. I guess he could. I guess he could. I don't know.
I think the only person that I see right now that is that could pull it off, that has like the look of it,
Mm-hmm.
is that Jacob kid. That's it. Because I think with the physical, he's not a bad actor.
No.
Um, I just think with his physical attributes and his kind of range, he could maybe pull that off.
Yeah, I don't know any of these new guys. I have no idea how half of these people are. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just pick and choose who you think would be the best body double. You know who actually I think would be great, and this is going to sound horrible, is and I'm staring at his face right now, and I'm just at a loss of what his name is. Not Jared, the Hemsworth.
Chris
No,
Hemsworth, Thor. No, I can't.
no.
No, he's Thor. He's not. No, and he's
Okay,
huge. He's big. He's a big dude.
that's true.
Yeah, I can't. No, he can't take him from Thor and put him into the Crow.
Yeah, I'm literally going through a list of guys right now. There is nobody that I would be able to put in there. Maybe Timothy Chalamet, or is he too skinny?
Chalamet I like, but
Chalamet?
but he's too short though.
Brandon Lee wasn't tall.
How tall is Chalamet? That might be it. That's actually
Chalamet,
I kind of like that.
Timothy Chalamet, because he has the bone structure
Yeah.
of him. Let me see here.
Okay,
And as
Chalamet's 5'10", so he's my height. I
I
thought he was
don't see
shorter than me.
I don't see why he couldn't. I mean, he could
I
bulk
like
up. He
he
has the
he
facial structure for it.
and he can act. He's a good actor.
I
I
just saw him
like
in
that.
Wonka.
How was that, by the way?
It wasn't bad,
Okay.
but it's better than the Burton one.
Okay, that's good.
Never
I think
as good as the original.
that's not a bad bit of casting if you put Timothy Chalamet as the Crow.
I think that Chalamet would be a better option than.
Yeah, I like that because he's killing it as Paul Atreides in the Dune movies.
I just went to the movies tonight and I actually saw the preview for the new Dune movie. I still like the original.
Do you? I don't know. The new one's actually a lot better than the old one. All right, and the last movie is now there's not much known about this film, and I showed you the trailer for both teasers. Is Long Legs.
Did
It's the
you?
movie. Yeah, the one with it was a clip of the picture of the family, the mother, daughter, and the husband, and then the other one that just kind of really didn't give you anything. So Long Legs. The marketing on this is fantastic. They haven't really released anything. It is starring Nicolas Cage, so I'm in.
Oh God.
Obviously.
Nicolas Cage is doing another one.
Yeah, another one. But check out the horror like DNA of this movie. Guess who it's directed by?
Oh God, I don't. Who?
Oz Perkins, the son of Anthony Perkins.
No way. Really?
Norman Bates' son is directing the film.
Oh my God, I'm looking at that now.
Yeah.
Norman Bates' son?
Oz Perkins, son of Anthony Perkins.
And this is supposed to be a psychological thriller?
So it follows an FBI agent played by It Follows, another great movie. Mika Monroe, who discovers she has connection to a ruthless serial killer, who is going to be played by Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Alicia Witt's in this too.
Yeah, and must work to prevent his next murder. So I'm in.
Okay. All right.
Like you got Nicolas Cage as a serial killer. Yeah, I'm all in.
Oh yeah. Him as Dracula in Renfield was absolutely
loved it.
Okay, it was a good movie. However, his character was just ridiculous beyond belief.
But that's what you want to see out of a Nicolas Cage Dracula. Is just over the top awesome.
Yeah, I would not expect anything less from him in that role whatsoever. The teeth fucking killed me. And I said this when we were reviewing the movie. The fact that he was trying to keep those fucking dentures in the whole time and him almost losing them a couple times made the whole movie for me.
Exactly.
That was like the best scenes ever. It was him trying to suck those things back up into his mouth.
Renfield. You're And that's all I've got for movie news. We're not doing any movie reviews today. We're doing some movie news to kind of get caught up on everything.
No.
That's all I got.
I do have one that, or actually two. I actually went to the movies tonight to see The Beekeeper, not a horror movie.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham did a good job. It was a decent movie. Action, a lot of him killing people, which is fantastic.
What do you do? Tosses Jason Statham. So.
He actually redeemed himself because the last movie, the fucking Meg, the Trench.
It was terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So this movie is called Abigail. This is a 2024 film. I saw the trailer tonight. Not sure how I feel about it.
I think they gave away too much in that movie.
I do.
Or that trailer for the movie. They gave away too much.
Yeah. It is a upcoming American monster horror film directed by Matt Bettinelli Oakland and Tyler Gillette. from a screenplay written by Stephen Shields and Guy Busick, based on a reimagining of the 1936 Universal classic monsters film Dracula's Daughter.
Okay.
Stars Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Alicia Weir, Catherine Newton, William Kellett, Kevin Durand, Angus Cloud. Obviously, Angus Cloud has passed away. This was one of his last movies that he did. And Giancarlo Esposito.
Great cast.
Great cast.
Great cast.
This is the trailer for it. And when we first started watching it, I was like, okay, this seems like a Knives Out situation just because of the way it was set up. Another good movie.
Yep.
But then there's Melissa Barrera. Then
Mac Miller.
How they went into this, and they kind of just all of a sudden was like, this is what she is.
You revealed too much in the teaser.
Yeah.
You revealed way too much. Now, I think what they could have done when she says, I'm sorry what's going to happen to you tonight.
Mm-hmm. You should have cut it.
You don't cut. Yeah. You don't do anything else with the trailer. You don't release any more footage.
You should have just stopped it right there and been dealt with it. And that's what she said right there. I'm sorry for what's going to happen to you tonight. The premise is. Or Megan,
like you keep showing this types of footage, but you don't show her because they reveal that she's like, a creature of some sort. You reveal that, and then you're like, okay, well, we already know what it is.
When she started to do this, and they were like, "What the fuck is she?" You could have just even killed it right there before she even did that. Like that's. Right. You're leaving it up. Like the premise is the film focuses on a group of kidnappers who capture and must watch over the daughter of the most powerful underworld figure for $50 million ransom until they get more than what they bargained for when Abigail reveals her true nature as a vampire child, hunting them down by one. Okay, premise is fine, but why would you give away pretty much the whole movie
right
in the trailer teaser? Like I don't get that.
Unless at the end, of course, they reveal like the powerful family, they're Dracula or something like that. But like all this, you're just showing way too much.
Well, I mean, even the premise is the most powerful underworld figure has to be fucking Dracula.
Yeah, I mean that's just too much, man. You're just
You've literally given away the fucking movie right here and there.
Yeah.
Like it seems to me it's on the same premise as Renfield.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of.
It's like Knives Out meets
Renfield,
yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like it looks good. It looks decent.
I just think they revealed
fucking
too much.
Megan. There's that. I think it looks better than Megan. That's just me.
And anything looks better than Megan. A turd wrapped up in bacon looks better than Megan.
Jesus Christ. It was really, that was just horrible. Just horrible. We're on compare. All right, so my last one, and this is already out in theaters, is Night Swim.
I want to see that.
I do want to see this too, and if you can maybe make it up here, we can see it together.
What a stupid premise for a movie, but it looks great.
It does. This is a 2024 horror. It's a short. It's an hour and 38 minutes. Forced into early retirement by a degenerative illness, former baseball player Ray Waller moves into a new house with his wife and 2 children. He hopes that the backyard swimming pool will be fun for the kids and provide physical therapy for himself. However, a dark secret from the home's past soon unleashes a malevolent force that drags the family into the depths of inescapable horror.
It looks great. I mean, it looks great.
It looks interesting.
I mean, for only an hour and a half movie, I mean, how much movie can you tell with a haunted pool? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
yeah. But I mean, it looks good. It looks good. It doesn't look hokey like a movie like, let's just say, like Piranha 3D or something like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't look hokey. It doesn't.
No, but it does look. It has weird premises. So like right there, when the pool starts filling with disgustingness, like I'd be like,
You know what this kind of reminds me of, because I know later on in the trailer it shows like the dad's kind of going insane. It's almost like the Amityville reboot with Ryan Reynolds, kind of like that, which was great. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that, like that tone of. Hey, it's like a haunted house-esque type of movie, but it's based in a pool.
Okay, and Wyatt Russell's in this. For those who don't know who Wyatt Russell is the son of
Kurt
Goldie
Russell.
Hawn and Kurt Russell, and he plays the father. So I mean, I would like to see this, just because of the trailers were actually kind of fantastic. So who knows?
Yeah, I like it. I think it'll be. It's just a stupid premise, but it looks good. So I mean, I'm down for it.
Yeah. So
yeah. So all right.
All right. Well, that sounds like we've kind of kicked it off.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Kids, thanks for joining in. Of course, we'll be kicking it up a lot more now that Megan has a new like stable video.
Yeah, I for those are this is just information. I've actually moved, so I actually have an office now. So I will. It's not finished yet, but you know, it'll be better.
There you go. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Of course, make sure to go to our YouTube page at Come Play with Us Danny Show. Hit the subscribe and notification bell when new episodes drop. We will see you guys once again on Come Play with Us Danny, the horror movie review and news show. We will see you guys later.
Bye-bye.